This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV Prime.
Hello and welcome to the Property Show. We bring you the latest developments in the real estate sector and also the best property picks in your budget in your chosen markets. And to help us do that, we have Nemunisa Khan with us. She's Head Research and Consultancy South of Lysis for us. Welcome to the show, Nemun. But before Nemun answers any of your questions, let's take a look at the headlines. Our top story, hardships continue for the Unitech home buyers in the National Capital Region as after a long wait for their dream homes, now they are left to fend for basic amenities like water and electricity in their projects. Also on the show, affordable housing in well-established locations of Pune. Homes that are worth your money in Ahmedabad. Projects from reputed developers in Gurgaon under a crore. Pocket-friendly options in emerging property hubs of Lucknow. Flats with state-of-the-art amenities in Bangalore under 1 crore. And finally, in our Citizens' Voice segment, spotlight on a group of citizens working towards a zero garbage neighborhood in Chennai. Let's begin our show with our first caller. We have Amit Gupta with us. Amit, go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, I'm from Pune. I'm planning to buy a property in Pune, Wakad area. The project name is Project Royal Entrada. Builder is 5-star Construction. So they are quoting me 940 square feet. The total cost is 62 lakh.
Okay.
And the possession is March 2018. So just wanted to know, is it worth to buy this property in that cost and the builder's reputation?
Absolutely. We will tell you that. Nemun, before you talk about Royal Estrada, could you tell us a little bit more about Wakad as well?
Well, location-wise, Wakad is basically, it's very strategic because it's very closely located to Hinjawadi IT Park and also closely located to the city on the other side. And it maintains a good connectivity from the Mumbai-Pune Expressway as well. So I would say Wakad is has a strong promising future as an end-user market and also as an investor market because a lot of people who actually work in Hinjawadi IT Park, they rent out space in Wakad because it's more livable, in nature. So even if you look at the price point out here, the price out here is only 5,600 rupees per square foot on an average, which is a decent price that you would be willing to pay for a mid-segment price for that kind of livable infrastructure around the locality in which you are staying. And even the annualized returns of Wakad has been very decent. It's been around 4% in the last 3 years. So, all over in the overall scenario, it's a very decent location to consider in Pune, and we will give you a go-ahead for the location. And let's come to the project which you had picked, Royal Entrada. I think the project is located off Dange Chowk, and the advantage of this project is that it's on the western side of the Mumbai-Pune Expressway, which means it's closer to the Hinjawadi IT Park. And that's one of the reasons that it is charging a slightly premium price when compared to the other projects in the location, which are slightly far away from Hinjawadi IT Park. Now, I would say that a few towers are already ready in this project, and the possession was in fact handed over this year itself. So I think looking even at that point, the price that they are asking for the location is pretty decent. Although the 2 BHKs that you find in this project will be of a compact size, so I would say that if you're looking at something which is a little far away from Hinjawadi IT Park but within Wakad, but on the other side, and if you want to cut down your budget and have a larger size 2 BHK, then you can look at Akshar Almenta. Again, this is a ready to move in project. This is near the Indira Institute of Management, again of Mumbai-Pune Expressway itself. And then there is another good project by the name of Montvert 1, ready to move in project close to the Wakad Chowk opposite the Rohan Tarang project, and even this project is decently priced, and the 2 BHK size out here is larger when compared to the Royal Entrada project. So I think if that's your consideration, then you can look into these two projects as well.
Okay, so let's quickly take a look at these two projects. First is Akshar Elementa, and the price that you'll have to pay is 5,611 rupees per square foot, and unit size for a 2 BHK apartment is 1,110 square feet. The other option is Montport 1, and the price you have to pay is 5,733 rupees per square foot, and the unit size for a 2 BHK apartment is 1,075 square feet. So these are the options that you have. Let's go ahead and take our next question. We have an email sent by Sushobhit Shukla, and he wants to invest some money in Faizabad Road in Lucknow. Now, his budget is 35 to 38 lakhs. What he wants is a 2 BHK apartment with a study, and he wants that he gets some sort of good amenities also in his project, and preferably if it could be inside a township area. Now, what do you suggest? Particularly, I think in Faizabad Road, he's interested in this area called Matiyari Choraha. So, what do you think about that, Neman?
Well, Matiyari Choraha would slightly be out of his budget. His budget is slightly on the lower side when you compare it with this location. But he'll certainly get projects on the Deva Road, or if he looks at, projects near the Indira Canal on the Faizabad Road itself. The average price out here is 3,167 rupees per square foot. And Faizabad Road, in fact, is developing as one of the growth corridors, I would say. It is seeing some, you could say, it's seeing a trickling demand from the Gomti Nagar area, largely because of presence of a lot of educational institutions in that area. And if considering that the annualized returns of this area, it's been around 2%, around 1.4% to be precise, which is pretty decent for the kind of end user demand that this location caters to. And I would say that if you're looking at projects within this area, then we'll be able to give you projects with varied construction stages, and they may get completed in the stipulated time frame that you had specifically asked for. You can look at Shalimar Mannat, which is a township level project. It's near the Scop Resorts and Infrastructure, and this may get completed by 2018. Then there's also a project which is located near Anuara, adjoining the Ram Swaroop School, by the name of Spring Greens. This is a ready-to-move-in project again. This is a township level project, so all the kind, the township level gated community amenities will be available in this project. And then the project by the name of After Greens. Now, After Greens is relatively small when compared to the other two, but it's almost in the finishing stages of construction, and it might get completed by this year end or so. It's not a very small project, I would say, but it has 5 towers, it's 12 stories, and again, it is very close to the Ram Swaroop School. So even this might be a decent thing to consider if you want a early possession.
Okay, so Neman is suggesting 3 projects to you, and she's made sure that they have good amenities. So let's take a look at the prices of these projects. First is Shalimar Mannat, and the price that you'll have to pay is 3,350 rupees per square foot. Unit size for a 2 BHK apartment is 990 square feet. The second option is Spring Greens, and the price that you'll have to pay in this particular project is 3,200 rupees per square foot. Unit size for a 2 BHK apartment is 1,186 square feet. This is a ready-to-move-in project. And the third option that she's suggesting is After Greens, and the price that you'll have to pay here is 2,450 rupees per square foot. Unit size for a 3 BHK apartment is 1,350 square feet. So these are the 3 options for you from our side. Let's go ahead and take our next caller on air. We have Manoj Mathur with us right now. Yes, Manoj, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm thinking of purchasing a 3 BHK property at New CG Road, Ahmedabad, and my budget is around 50 lakh. Please guide me. like which is the best way to go about purchasing?
Absolutely, we will tell you for sure. So, New CG Road in Ahmedabad is the area that he likes. What do you think about it, and what can he get in his budget?
Well, New CG Road is, the area which is actually interlink, you can say, between the, it connects like two state highways of State Highway 41 and State Highway 71, which is the Ahmedabad-Gandhinagar highway. And if you look at this particular area, there are barely few projects that we can pick for him in his budget, and also there are hardly any projects that are nearing completion in this area. So I would suggest that if he can look towards Chandkheda, which is on the border of New CG Road, that there he may be able to find a lot of options in his budget. And in fact, Chandkheda is actually maturing as an affordable segment market. Although the demography of the Chandkheda is not very high, but it is very strategic in its location. It's well connected to the SP Ring Road and well connected to the SG Highway. Thereby, its connectivity to Gandhinagar also improvises. So, looking at the overall scenario, Chandkheda is having, is anticipated to have a very good future. If you look at the average price out here, it's around 2,600 rupees per square foot. And the annualized returns in the past few years has been around 5.1%, which is pretty decent for Ahmedabad market. Well, when coming to the projects, I think you can look at Dev Prime. It's a ready-to-move-in project. Then you can also look at Akruti Elegance. This project is very close to the Godrej Garden City, and its proximity to Nirma University and SG Highway is also pretty decent. And again, it's a ready-to-move-in project, so it might be a good option. Then we've also picked one project which is under construction. This is right behind Satyameva Hospital. This is by the name Seepal Elegant 3, and this is under the mid stages of construction, you can say, and it may get completed by the 2018 year or so. So even this might be a decent option to consider in the ticket size that you're looking at.
Okay, so let's take a closer look at these projects that Nemun has just suggested to you. First is Dev Prime, and the price you have to pay is 2,333 rupees per square foot. Unit size for a 3 BHK apartment is 1,521 square feet. The other option is Akruti Elegance, and the price that you have to pay in Akruti Elegance is 2,667 rupees per square foot. Unit size for a 3 BHK ranges from 1,395 to 1,575 square feet. And the third option is Seepal Elegant 3. And the price that you have to pay here is 2,811 rupees per square foot. Unit size for a 3 BHK apartment is 1,593 square feet. So these are the three options for you. Now, before we move on, let's just quickly remind you that you can invest in property or buy something for yourself. But before you do that, please do write to us and take our advice. Do email to us at property@ndtv.com, but don't forget to leave your full name and contact number. Let's go ahead and take our next caller on air. We have Atul Ahuja with us. Go ahead, Atul, ask your question.
Hi, Anjali. I'm looking to purchase a 2-bedroom apartment in Gurgaon.
Okay.
And my budget is between 95 lakhs to 1.1 CR.
Okay.
And I have shortlisted Irio Scion in Sector 60, M3M Merlin in Sector 67, and Tulip Orange in Sector 70.
Okay.
So, also I would like you to know that this purchase is for an end user. So it's my own use.
Okay, sure. We'll keep that in mind. So, Nemun, he's already shortlisted 3 projects. Irio Scion is there, M3M Merlin and Tulip Orange. Now, what do you think about the area as such? And also, in this budget, which particular project do you think would be best suited for him to live in as well?
Certainly, Anjali. Now, I think both these projects, I would say, are spread over 2 different micro markets. If you look at Aero Skyon and M3A Merlin, they are premium projects, and they will come under the micro market of Golf Course Extension Road. Whereas if you look at Tulip Orange, I would categorize it as a mid-segment project, which would come, which is located very close to the Sona Road, off Sona Road, you can say, the Sector 70. So we would put this under the micro market of Sona Road. Now, if you look at the average prices of both these micro markets, the average price of Golf Course Extension Road is around 11,000 rupees per square foot. And the appreciation that this area has seen is almost negative of minus 1.4% in the last 3 years. Whereas if you look at Sona Road, the average price out here in Sona Road is around 7,600 rupees per square foot. And the appreciation that this area had seen in the last 3 years is almost negative. It's minus 3.6%. Now there is a huge inventory overhang in both these areas. But having said that, the area of Sona Road also suffers, this area where of Sector 70 also suffers from basic civic amenities, like lack of civic amenities and infrastructure in this area. So from the end user point of view, I think Tulip Orange should be your last priority, whereas Aero Skyon should be your first priority. It has a brand value. The specifications are also very good, and it has a location advantage. Definitely, it's on the Golf Course Extension Road. So, and I think comparing with the amenities also, if you look at M3A Merlin, it's also decent. It has a larger community. You might benefit from that amenities, but I don't think the Merlin project offers 2 BHK. They have only 3 BHKs with them. So if you're particularly looking at a 2 BHK, then Merlin would not be the project that you would can go ahead with. So considering that, I think we will rank Merlin as 2, and will definitely give you a go ahead for Aero Skyon, the choice that you had made.
Okay, so I hope it'll be easy for you now to decide which project to buy in, because she's given you a ranking. Now let's talk about thousands of home buyers of Unitech that are caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. While many continue to wait endlessly to get possession of their homes, there are a few who thought they were lucky when they got possession, but are now fighting for basic amenities like water, power and other basic facilities. Oinatam has the story.
When Ashwini Singh, a software engineer, got possession of his flat in Unitech Unihomes in 2016, 4 years later than the promised date of possession, he thought his days of struggle are over. But in less than a year of having moved into his new abode, Ashwini realized that his struggle is far from over. He might not be fighting for possession with the builder, but he is fighting for basic amenities like power, water, security and roads.
Project is completely not livable, means we cannot live here under these conditions. We don't have proper electricity connection, we don't have water supply, we don't have approach road. So why we are living here then? We are the middle class family persons, and we are paying the EMI bank loan. We are going the bank loan, and if we are going to give the rent, then how much salary we will save?
Unitech gave provisional possession to 200 families out of a total of 2,200 units in Unihomes in 2015-16. The project still does not have occupancy certificate and therefore no legal water and power supply. The residents are left at the mercy of Unitech, a company which is already in deep distress and struggling for its own survival. Unihomes residents have already deposited 1 crore rupees for the electricity connection out of the total due of 1 crore 60 lakh rupees, but the electricity department is saying that they will either have to pay the remaining 60 lakh rupees or get a letter from Noida authority saying that Unitech's decision to surrender land is under consideration. Unitech has surrendered a certain amount of undeveloped land held by the company under the project settlement plan of Noida authority. The policy allows builders to surrender land which the developer thinks he cannot develop and get his outstanding dues adjusted.
We are running pillar to post authority and this one electricity department. We are not getting any solution till today. Secondly, regarding this water supply, we have met Mr. Yadav is there in authority. Please give this connection Ganga water supply. He is telling it will take time and we have to prepare the infrastructure. So before 1 year, we are not in position to provide this water supply.
The story is no different for anxious home buyers of Unitech Sunbreeze in Gurgaon, as they are waiting with bated breath to get possession of their dream homes.
Invested all my money. I have a previous flat in Pune that I sold out in rupees 33 lakhs and around 30 lakhs loan I took. So all means previous job earnings of 12 years I invested here, and of the current job 30 lakh I have taken loan, and for that around 30,000 EMI also I am paying. So last 5 years almost 60 lakhs rupees I have paid to Unitech, and building is yet to be over.
Actually we have paid already 90% of the amount. Now we are paying EMI and rent also, and kids are growing and it is difficult to manage one thing.
We want Unitech to complete the work as fast as it could, so that we are able to stay in a place which we could call our own home.
Unitech launched Sunbreeze in 2009 with a delivery promise by 2012. Work on the project has been happening on and off till it came to a standstill in 2013. 4 years later, not even a single soul is visible at this site, not even a signage. Unitech has so far turned a deaf ear to all the pleas, protests and cries of the buyers. Their only hope being the real estate regulator, which they are eagerly waiting for Haryana government to set up. In Gurgaon, Oinitam Oja, NDTV.
It's time for a short break now. When we come back, we tell you where should you buy in Thane to get best returns for your investment. And from west to east, we review projects in Kolkata.